And welcome to the 2025 National Field Archery Indoor National Championships here in Chicago, Illinois at the Navy Pier. It's our first time here this season, first time here to this event. And Chicago has been a very welcome and wonderful city for us. A little bit cold, but wow, what an amazing venue. And we have an amazing night of shoot-offs here coming up in just a few minutes as we break away to see who's going to be coming up in the shoot-offs. Sitting alongside Gaius Carter, my name is Chuck Cooley. Gaius, we're going to have an amazing night tonight. Thanks for sitting in the booth with me. What are you looking forward to here?
You know, upcoming here, we have the females shooting off. We have Paige, Lizelle, Graceland, and Olivia. All of that is going to be impressive.
Yep. We had an outright winner in the ladies division and an outright winner in the senior division as well. Grant Schleusner picked up his first win after 30-some years. And it's been quite a weekend. We're going to step out to Bruce Cull here on the floor. Bruce Cull is going to give us a rundown of the event and how it's going to work. So let's take it over to Bruce Cull.
Okay, welcome everybody to the 2025 NFAA National Indoor, and a special treat for tonight. We've got some great shoot-offs in the championship divisions. We're about to get started here, but I just want to have everybody take note to one thing. What state do you think was the most represented here? Anybody want to guess? Nobody? How about Illinois? Give a big round of applause. Obviously, Illinois was number one. How about number two? Any guesses there? Idaho, Missouri, Michigan. All right, well, number two was Wisconsin. Wisconsin, big round of applause. And to round off the top five, we've got number three was Michigan. Number four was Ohio. And number five was Minnesota. And to round off the top 10, we had New York, Texas, Tennessee, and Indiana, and the state of Florida. Give all your states a big round of applause. Thank you all for coming. We also have a really cool thing too. We've got 48 states represented, and for the first time, 9 foreign countries. Give everybody yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you for coming. And I'm going to turn this over to Darren, and he's going to introduce the first two shoot-offs.
All right, tonight in the professional senior male division, shooting off for second and third place on target 9A, we have Randy Morocco from Ohio. On target 8A from Iowa, Lynn Hoke. And in the women's professional female division, shooting off for second through fifth on target 5A from California, Paige Pierce. On target 4A from Estonia, Lizelle Yatma. On target 3A from Indiana, Grayson Fletcher. And on target 2A from Pennsylvania, Olivia Dean.
All right, everybody. Just the quick shoot-off rules. They're the same as always, but I'll just read them very quickly for you so that you can all understand and that the audience can understand. This shoot-off will contain one practice end, followed by one end where only the X ring scores 5, then additional ends where only the X-ring scores 5 scored inside out. All right? Every end is sudden death. That means at the end of the first end, everything could be determined, or we could go until there's only one. Practice end, archers to the line, good luck.
And we're back live here on the line. What you see here is a shoot-off in the professional women's division and the professional senior men's division. Again, both of those divisions, first place winner won outright. Congratulations to Ella Gibson for the professional women's division, and congratulations to Grant Schlusner, who, after roughly 36 years, finally won one. Some controversy there, and we'll talk about that later on. There was an arrow call that, could have gone either way, and the judge called it in, and so he wins that outright. So what you're seeing here is a shoot-off to determine second and third in the senior men's division. And then in the women's, because we have 4 different women who have they're all tied basically for second. So we have to determine a podium finish there. Olivia Dean, Grayson Fletcher, Lizelle Yatma, and Paige Pierce, who's won here before. Paige won this outright in 2023, most recently. What are you seeing out there on the stage?
Yeah, so the women have, all the women there, all 4 of them shot 1 down. So it was 600 with 119 X's. The shoot-off we have here for the seniors, those guys shot 118, so they missed 2 X's. And this 100% is going to go to not just shooting the 5 X's, but it will absolutely go to inside outs. And then it'll be shocking how accurate these guys can be.
You know, it's interesting. I see when I look down there at Lynn's target, he does have one that's kind of way out there on target 8. Very low. His last one there a little sketchy too.
I don't know. I think a little bit of pressure will make everyone tighten up a little bit.
I think it is, and especially these guys. They just came off that. They were all on the same bail with Grant. So there's some nerves there. There's some tension there. I see Paige has switched over to the skinny arrows for the shoot-off as well. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Randy with his final shot. Randy, of course, he won this outright in 2023 as well. Looks like it'll be over for the men, for the senior men rather. Randy's got them all in there, kind of. It looks like they're going to go down and take a look at the scores. Judges are going to come across, take a look at all the targets. You'll notice the archers will hang back, unless this was a practice. Oh, this is a practice. Okay, yeah. Practice end there.
I'm saying they're going to tighten up.
Yeah, they're going to tighten up.
When it's ready to roll, you get a little nerves going, and it's you're trying to be extra middle.
Now, you've done this before.
I've not done the 5 spot. I have been in the shoot-off, several different shoot-offs, indoors and outdoors, in Vegas, JVD Open, Reading, Lancaster. I just haven't made this one. I'm pretty consistent at missing 1 X. It's a good time.
Don't feel bad. There's another legend in the sport who's never won this, Jesse Broadwater. This was the one event he did not.
Okay, this will be your first official scoring end in which only the X counts as 5. Good luck.
All right, so first round of scoring here. I apologize. That last end was practice end. So let's see if Gaius is right here and see if these guys get the kinks worked out.
Paige being a very successful outdoor shooter, she's very confident in her skinny arrows at 20 yards. And Lizelle being from over in Europe, she's going to favor the 23s, and I think everyone else kind of just is shooting what they have. But it looks like the other 2 got skinnies as well. Randy is shooting, I want to say a 23, or maybe that looks like a little bigger shaft.
I don't think, you can see like that's a TKO there.
Yeah, so like a standard hunting shaft.
And the game plan there, what we're talking about versus the fat versus the skinny arrows, typically you shoot a 27 series or a 23 series for this kind of a game. But we go, a lot of times there's some strategy involved with switching to a much smaller arrow, because we do go to inside out scoring, which means you cannot touch that line. The thought being, if you go with a skinny arrow, you can not hit that line. It's harder to hit because it's a much smaller
You can
arrow.
shoot a little closer to line and still be okay.
Yeah.
Paige is looking good.
Paige has 3 really solid arrows.
You know, Paige has a release in her mouth. I've seen her shoot 2 or 3 different releases this weekend.
Yeah, but you know, she's almost like a Gillingham in that regard, right?
Yeah.
She's not afraid to change up equipment at any given moment, just to make her game a little bit better that day.
Randy's shot there looked a little loose. He's got one wide.
Paige taking a quick look. Good shot at Lizelle there. And Olivia. No, I'm sorry.
Grayson.
That's Grayson. Paige, 4 solid ones there.
If you notice, Paige, her stabilizers are almost parallel to each other, the front and the back. You look at everyone's bars, and there's somewhat of an angle.
She used to angle them up.
Yeah. Now they're a little more in line, and it's interesting because, you know, everyone's got them angled down, it seems.
Oh. Wonder if she's got a contact lens, as you see her pulling on her eye there just a little bit, trying to clean things up. There's a good shot of Olivia Dean. And you can see she's shooting the 23s, the PS-23 there, Black Eagle arrow. 5 really good arrows there. She's good. Fletcher looks good.
I don't have any binos, but it looks like Dean has one of them. A little
Yeah,
wide.
of all the things I did not bring today.
Yeah, we really overachieved in that regard.
Yeah.
They are just shooting for 5Xs. They haven't gone to inside outs, but we are going to judge.
Olivia Dean, 25. Grayson Fletcher, 25. Lizelle Jotma, 25. And Paige Pierce, 25. They'll all be doing it again. Lynn Huck, 25. And Randy Morocco, 25. All right, we'll be doing that one again.
This format's really interesting with the way the judging works. Is they go through and they pretty much call the arrows on eyeball, right? If it's a clear 25, it's a clear 25. Yeah. If there's something that's close, they have 3 judges in reserve. Those 3 judges will come over and they will silently score the arrows and write it down on a piece of paper. Majority wins.
Okay, archers, this
2 out of
time
3 gets
the
the
scoring method will be the X counts as 5, scored inside out. And for everybody watching, if you don't know what that means, if the arrow touches the X ring, it goes to the lower score. Once again, scored inside out. Archers to the line, good luck.
Those judges will get in there with a magnifying glass. And really, they're gonna have to really look at these because, like Bruce just said, it cannot touch the line.
Yeah, if it touches that line, it becomes a 4, not a 5. Has to be inside out. So this is where that skinny arrow really comes into play. Lynn made the shoot off last year. Great shot at him there. He was knocked out in the first end, but he made the shoot off last year.
Randy's got a good inside out. Lynn has one on the line. Randy has always been a very strong indoor shooter.
You know, he's made a commitment this year. No day job, just shooting.
Good for him.
Yeah.
A dream many of us wish we could have.
Yes. And as strong as he was last year, especially on the ASA circuit, you give him the extra time and the extra effort, I think he's going to be a powerhouse out there.
Dedication and consistency.
Paige has got 2 decent ones there. Looked like Lizelle had 2 good ones there as well. Paige has got one that's kind of close, but from here looks in.
Paige's last 5 on the regular scoring.
Randy
were
dropped
very
one
middle.
low. Randy missed that middle dot. So depending on what Lynn's first arrow was.
Lynn's got one wide as well.
Paige has got 3 solid ones. Lizelle 3 good ones as well. Ooh, did you see that? Look at that elbow.
Yeah.
See that elbow? Little tentative on that shot. He's not pulling through. Did you see that?
It was moving there. Yeah, the nerves. See Lizelle here, arrow bouncing.
Reaches up there with her finger, puts it back into place.
There's a lot of nerves. You got to be able to push, have strong shots, and believe in what you're doing, because sometimes you can't control everything. A little bit of adrenaline going. Paige moving as well.
Yeah, little bounce there.
Middle.
Sends it right in the middle, right on the spider.
Paige is good. I'm not familiar with Grayson or Olivia, but they've obviously shot very strong this weekend at 119.
Olivia's been around quite a while. Had a record, world record. She's really good with USA archery type stuff. Yeah, solid shooter. That one's definitely cutting the line.
Yeah. Very clean shot there. She definitely runs that string out in front of her nose there.
Just a touch, and she's got the line on that last one too. So it looks like Olivia's going to be out on this end. And we'll have to get a good look at Lynn and Randy's arrows as well.
Olivia Dean, 24.
That was that last arrow that hit high, cut that line. Judge is reaching for the the glass there. Wants to get a good look at that.
Grayson Fletcher, 24.
Grayson's out as well.
Great shooting from both the archers this weekend.
We could have a winner right here.
Lizelle Jatma, 24.
If that top left arrow is in.
That's good. He was pretty quick to it.
And Paige Pierce, who's going to end up with second place at 25. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Paige.
Congratulations to her. Shot fantastic.
So the women that missed, the 3
And
women
these
that
3
missed,
girls
they'll
will
keep
continue shooting for third.
We have to decide third yet.
All of them did have a score of 24, so they're all tied.
They're all tied. They get to shoot for third now.
Lynn's got a 22.
Oh, 22, Lynn.
And Randy Morocco is a 24. Give Randy a big round of applause. And Lynn.
Congratulations to Randy.
Congratulations to those guys. So Randy Morocco finishing second.
So
Lynn
Randy
Hope
is second
will
and
take
Lynn
third.
is third place. Good shooting, guys.
Congratulations to those guys. So that part of the shoot-off for the professional senior men's division is concluded. Randy, again, second place. Lynn Hoke with third place. And your first place outright winner in the men's professional senior men's division is Grant Schlusner from earlier today. So congratulations to all those guys. Some really great shooting there. Now we move down to just these 3 ladies who are going to battle it out for third place. And it'll be the same scoring. Inside-out scoring, just like we've been doing.
Inside out. Olivia and Graceland, I believe, are running the skinnies. Lizelle with the 23s. I wouldn't say she's at a disadvantage, because if you shoot all 5 in the middle, they're inside out. So,
all right, ladies, this will be the same thing. The X counts as 5 and only the X, and it's scored inside out. Archers to the line. Good luck.
Lizelle has traveled a long way, all the way from Estonia to shoot this.
But she's staying for Vegas then as well.
Yeah, they're going to stay with some friends in Arizona, and then they'll be in Vegas.
Did she shoot Lancaster as well?
I don't believe they did.
I don't.
Her brother Robin.
Yeah,
travel and shoot together. He'll also be in the male shoot off this evening. Looks like Lizelle might be the only one here that has one inside out.
Look at the big twist on those veins.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that AAE vein really does a nice job. Olivia's got one on the line.
So 2 inside out.
Yep. Olivia's second one is solid. That one's on the line as well. So Grayson's got 2 that are out. Gives that little confidence click there. You've done that.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of times.
That just one click. It doesn't move it much, but it makes your brain feel a lot better.
You know, and sometimes in these situations, you're firing shots just low because you tend to just, you're looking at the middle hard enough and you'll break it low, give it a click. It will land a little more middle than what you think.
Mm-hmm. Lazelle's got 3 good ones there. Olivia's last 2 look great as well. I think Grayson's got her 3rd one out, touching the line also.
Lizelle, being from Europe, she's very accustomed to the baby inner 10 because that's what they shoot over there.
That's all they shoot, yeah.
And these arrows for her are very middle.
Really great looking shot there. What do you see?
Olivia's got 1 on the line, 3 inside out. Graceland is probably 2 inside out. She's definitely got 2 on the line. Lizelle has 4 inside out, and they're all touching the spider.
She's down to her last arrow here. I saw her give her sight just a quick touch.
Graceland's got 3 inside out.
How's Olivia's last arrow?
Olivia's looks good.
Long hold, and she lets down.
If Lizelle hits this, she will be 3rd place.
Plenty of time on the clock. 5 arrows over 4 minutes.
It takes a lot of discipline to let down, stand there, regroup, and go after it again and shoot that arrow.
When you're the only one on the line.
Oh yeah.
In a room full of people.
You're feeling nothing but your heartbeat. Your hands feel weird. The bow's moving all over the place. Let's see what she can do here. Ends up perfect.
Beautiful. Wow, what a target.
Great shooting.
So Lizelle will take this. She'll be your 3rd place finisher. Wow.
She made that look easy. That was perfect.
Way easier than I can do. I can guarantee that. You can do that though, right? On command?
Not this weekend.
No? That's why you're here in the booth with me.
That is why I'm here in the booth with you.
Olivia Dean, 23.
Good job for Olivia. She's a pretty committed shooter. She makes the whole tour.
Grayson Fletcher, 22.
Oh, so Olivia will finish 4th. Grayson will finish
And
5th.
3rd place goes to Lizelle Jatma. 4th place, Olivia Dean, and 5th place, Grayson Fletcher. Give them a big round of applause.
You could see the smile set in with Lizelle there before he called it. She knew she had it won. Great shooting from all 3 of them.
And just so everybody knows, we just shot off for 2nd place, and we shot off for, like I said, both seconds. Our national champions are in here, and I'd like to recognize them. Where's Ella Gibson? And come on up, Ella, and Grant Schlusner. Give them a big round of applause. Ella won the women's pro freestyle, and Grant won the senior pro freestyle.
Ella coming over from the UK.
She said this was her very first time
Okay,
here.
we're now
Her
getting
very
ready
first
for
time shooting
the
the blue face.
really big shoot-off with 20 people. And I'm going to walk over here and give this microphone to Darren. Darren, is your mic any better?
Test.
Yeah, Darren
this sound
Christenberry is
better?
going to do the announcements for us, call in all the men that are coming for the shoot-off. And there's a lot. There's 20 of them.
Okay, we're going to pump that one up.
He's
Go
got a
ahead,
lot
do
of
that,
shooters
and
in
we'll
there
be
too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
You ready to roll?
That's
We're
why
ready
he
to
didn't
go.
want to sit in the booth, because
I understand.
he was a little
In
too
the
amped up to watch his
professional
guys.
male shoot-off, everyone with 600 and 120 X's. On target 10B from Montana, Mr. Bodie Turner. On On target 10A from Minnesota, Sawyer Sullivan. On target 9B from the Netherlands, Mike Schlosser. On target 9A from Michigan, Levi Reitzma. On target 8B from New York, Louis Price. On target 8A from Puerto Rico, Gene Pizarro. On target 7B from Canada, Christopher Perkins. On target 7A from South Dakota, James Lutz. On target 6B from Indiana, Dane Johnson. On target 6A from Minnesota, Nick Cappers. Target 5B from Estonia, Robin Yatma. Target 5A from Alabama, Robert Householder. Target 4B from Wisconsin, Lewis Holmes. Target 4A from El Salvador, Roberto Hernandez. Target 3B from Denmark, Stefan Hansen. Target 3A, also from Denmark, Maddie Fullerton. Target 2B from Utah, Kyle Douglas. Target 2A from Georgia, Curtis Brodnax. Target 1B from Missouri, Remington Boyer. And target 1A from Kentucky, Jace Bowles.
That's right, okay. Not this one. Hang on, man.
Wow, 20 guys making the cut with perfect 120x scores, and a lot of these guys have been up here multiple times. There's a ton of talent out there.
There is a boatload of talent. I shot with a couple of these guys today, and there was a couple, and I was watching Maddie, Stefan Hansen, Curtis. There was a couple of them that had some very, very clean targets.
I'm interested to see, how Jimmy's going to do. Jimmy, I watched him in the shoot-off at the Classic. He switched to that wrist strap release. Man, did he look comfy.
All right, once again, all of these young men shot perfect scores. How many of you have been in this shoot-off in the National before? Raise your hands.
Yeah, a lot of experience there. How many of you have been in this and Vegas? Okay, everybody give him a big round of applause. This is as good as it gets right here. All right, very quickly again, but the shoot-off rules. This will be one practice end, followed by one end where only the X ring scores 5. Then additional ends where the X ring scores 5, scored inside out. All ends are sudden death. Once again, for the spectators, that means after the practice end, the first end, people can be eliminated or a winner could be determined. All right, archers to the line. Good luck.
So this shoot-off, this tends to take a little bit of time to get through. Now we do have a practice end here.
We do. And I don't even... the 20 shooters is shocking. 120 arrows to hit them all 120 X's is not an easy feat.
No, over 2 days. I mean, in this particular round, if we're honest, it's a little mind-numbing.
Yes, but let's also add the 90 arrows you have to shoot in Vegas to have a 900. Bruce just asked them who has been in the shoot-off before, and raise your hand if you've been in the shoot-off and Vegas. Everyone but like 2 people raise their hand.
Right. It says a bit about the skill.
Yeah, we're talking about the best in the world, and we have guys from around the world. We have Netherlands, El Salvador, we have Bodie Turner, Vegas champ, we have Matthias,
Estonia,
Chris
Canada.
Perkins from Canada. It's you have the best people here, some of the best 3D shooters in the country. Yeah. All bows, all equipment.
And the number of guys on this line that have shot perfect feeder rounds or perfect world archery rounds.
We have...
It's not just one anymore.
Matthias, we have Mikey. Who else? I believe that would be it for those guys.
Did Sawyer do it?
No.
No. Oh, he set a world record in
outdoor 50 meter.
Yeah, 50 meter. Yeah.
Mike Slosher just set a new world record a couple days ago on the 25 meter.
Yeah.
That was a 597, I believe it was.
Insanity.
That's impressive shooting.
Great shot of Bodie Turner there. And Bodie just won, or no. No, he was just in the $25,000 shoot-off at Lancaster for shooting a perfect.
Yep.
Perfect qualifying round there.
Him, Jacob Sluzars, and Matthias Fullerton. Matthias,
both guys are here.
There.
Yeah. Matthias won this last year, and it went 7 ends. Jeff Rainey was in there as well. He took second, and he didn't make the cut this year. Isaac Sullivan took third last year. He's not here this year.
So to rethink what tournaments have also happened, the Rushmore Rumble, how many ends did that go?
That was a whole nother tournament.
That was also a 5-arrow shoot, right?
Yeah.
Do we think it's going to go that long? Because for that, they had to shoot the X, which would be an inside the X ring on this face.
It'd be a smaller X. Yeah.
Do you think it's going to go 20 ends?
I don't know. You got it in you?
I know.
I got a Kentucky coffee, cold hard brew here on the counter just to keep me going.
I don't have enough caffeine in my system for that. But Bodie inspecting his X10s here on the middle of the floor. I think he's just cleaning them off.
He looks good. He's lost a lot of weight between last year.
He's been working hard.
Yeah. I think that's going to help his game quite a bit.
If you want to take the top of the game serious, there's all aspects you got to work on, and he's been doing it.
Yeah. He's not only working on obviously he's got the mental skill and the physical skill, but working on the body.
Absolutely. Here we go. Regular scoring.
Predict any dropouts here?
Maybe like one or two.
We generally have 1 or 2. It's just like Vegas. You always lose somebody on that first end, and that's got to be the worst. You shoot a 900 and then shoot a 9 on your first end of scoring in Vegas.
Did that over in the Netherlands at the JVD Open. First end in the shoot-off. Out.
Pack it up, go home.
Yep.
Thanks for coming.
Yep. So everyone here is shooting the skinnies. Now, it's easy to shoot it inside.
Now, I went and asked the guys before we came over here. There's 4 that didn't change.
Well, if some arrow builds just shoot better. If I made this, I would be shooting my 23s.
Yeah, so that was the thing. 3 of them went from 27s to 23s. 1 of them stayed with 27s.
I am looking down the line. with the binos here.
I don't see anything even close to the edge. Curtis Borodnax is one that's shooting 27s. By the way, if you're a arrow sponsor, Curtis says he doesn't have any other arrows.
Only a couple on the line, which is impressive.
Good shot of Louis Price there.
You can be on the line now, it's okay, but the next end is when you need it to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were talking about Jimmy Lutz.
Yeah.
Jimmy has just moved to South Dakota to be at the Yankton Archery Facility, which is a fact. It's a perfect place, fantastic venue.
It's world class, yeah. It's got everything you need.
Him and Stefan are up there now, right, training together. Could be concerning for everyone here on the field moving forward. They have the time and the ability to do it.
By the way, warning notices have been filed.
Put on notice.
There's a shot of Jimmy. Look how comfortable he looks with that new release.
On and gone.
He gets that thing grooved in.
Remington Boyer has one out on the center target. Kyle looks good. Tias looks good. Hansen has got 4 that looks good. Roberto Hernandez from El Salvador has one low.
Yeah, and you can see the look on his face. Yeah. He looks disappointed. He keeps trying to glass it in there.
He is one of the best guys you'll ever meet, a great educator. He does a lot for the sport of archery in his local area and South America in general.
One of the nicest guys you'll hang around with. I don't think I've ever seen him upset or angry. Always has a smile on his face.
Every
Great
year
dude.
In Vegas, he has some students that come up with him, and he helps a lot of people.
Yeah, he's a really, really good dude. I think he's really under-recognized.
It's good to see him up here.
Boyer, 24. Broadnax, 25. Douglas, 25. Fullerton, 25. Hansen, 25. Hernandez, 24. Holmes, 25. Householder, 25. Jotma, 25. Cappers, 25. Johnson, 25. Lutz, 25. Perkins, 25. Pizarro, 25. Price, 25. Reitzma, 25. Slusher, 25. Sullivan, 24. And Turner, 25. Give a big round of applause to those that have been eliminated. The rest will continue shooting.
So we lost 3 there in the first end. Remington Boyer, Roberto Hernandez, and Sawyer Sullivan, shockingly, out.
And they're all fantastic shooters. Pressure will get to everyone. It's good to see Chris Perkins up here. I was telling him this the other day. I feel like it's kind of been a minute where we've had him indoors, you know, punching paper at a high level. It's good to see him back. And
Yeah, I don't want to say he struggled, but because he was shooting really good scores, but he was just missing the cuts.
Yep.
Just missing the cuts. and as dominant as Chris was, prior Vegas champion, things like this, ASA champion,
He's the most versatile archer I believe there is in our space.
Yeah, the guy can clearly shoot a bow. And for him to have, and when you say it's an off year.
Okay, this will be your second official scoring end and your first end in which the X counts as 5, scored inside out. Archers to the line, good luck.
His off year would be a dream year for most other guys.
Oh, absolutely. Looking down the line, there is a lot of Matthews cams.
I see that. A lot of red, a lot of black and yellow.
Whip out these binos here. I think we'll lose. I'm gonna say probably maybe 5 or 6 people here, because all you got to do is touch the line.
That's true. I see Louis shooting a bigger arrow there.
Good to see Louis up here shooting.
Kind of a new dad. He's got a lot of things going on in his life.
I didn't know he had a kid.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Good
Seems
for
like
him.
it's a thing with all these guys lately.
I'm staying away from that. Kyle is
Capper's
extra
looking
middle.
really strong right there. Really comfortable looking shot.
Mikey from the Netherlands. Mr. Perfect.
Looking good with that new white bow. He's done some amazing things pretty quickly with that.
Hey, plenty of clean scores and wins in the World Series.
So one of the things I'm noticing, see how Bodie now has space? Right? He doesn't have an archer behind him. He doesn't have an archer in front of him. Your experience, a bonus? Not a bonus.
Depending on how you feel about it. I think Bodie, who's hitting a little low on his target there, but still good, I don't think it bothers him. I think it might be a good thing to put him on an island. Because maybe in his mind he's saying it's Bodie versus the world, and he might just go crazy. It
Could
might
just
be
run
good.
this out,
It
right?
could be scary for everyone. Perkins, good.
What do we got all the way down there on the end? Is that Jace?
The gentleman there from Puerto Rico's got one on the line.
Gene Pizarro?
Yeah. We got Mikey is good. Levi's got one on the line.
So again, these guys walk down. It's 20 yards. They walk down. We stand back. Jace is out. Good kid. Like him a lot. Been watching him for a few years.
Broadnax, 25. Douglas, 25.
Broadnax, one of the ones. Curtis stayed with his big
Fullerton,
arrows.
25. Hanson, 24.
Great shooter.
Holmes, 25. Householder, 24. Jatma, 24.
Saw that top one. close to the
Cappers,
line.
24.
And Capper's out.
Johnson, 25.
So we've lost 5 so far.
Lutz, 25. Perkins, 25.
Pizarro, 23. Price, 24.
Louis out. Oh. Great run for Louis there.
Reitzma, 24.
Reitzma.
Slusher, 25. And Turner, 25. Give a big round of applause to those that shot 23s and 4s. They have been eliminated, and we will continue shooting.
8 people taken out in that line. So we've gone from 20 to 10 in 2 ends.
Half the field, it's tough to go shoot 120 arrows perfect, get into a shoot-off, have that buzz, have that feeling of excitement, shoot your 5 arrows, make it through the first end, go into the second one, lose. I mean, obviously, anytime you get in the shoot down and lose, it's hard, but you come all that way, you feel like you win it, feel like you can take a run, and it just come up short.
Yeah, you definitely saw it on Stefan's face. You know, he has such high expectations for himself. And, you know, when he doesn't make it, you just see like how angry he is with himself for not getting that arrow in there.
It'll stir him up to go home and definitely probably work at it hard. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Vegas coming up.
I wouldn't be looking forward to Vegas right now. Yeah, you get to shoot against all this when you get to Vegas.
That's all right.
Good times.
I've played in that dance before.
Yeah, it's a good dance. So we're down to 10, and they've made everybody hang fresh paper. The reason they do that is so we don't have any close calls where the line has been torn away.
All right, this will be the same format.
Like we saw in the seniors.
Only the X counts as 5, scored inside out. Archers to the line. Good luck.
You know, you never want to see a judgment call that's not crystal clear.
There's a lot of money on the line.
There is.
You got to be accurate on those arrow calls.
Right, and it's not just prize money here, but it's also sponsor money. These guys are shooting for contingency checks, and there's a lot of companies involved. You know, you've got Matthews, Hoyt, Easton, PSE, Shrewd, Botec, Prime, Shibuya, Elite, Morel.
Dane Johnson's first arrow is on the line. Curtis Broadnax with 27s. Both of his are inside out. Kyle Douglas looks good. Fullerton has one very close to the line. I would say it's probably touching. Louis Holmes looks good.
Curtis is a super solid shooter. Great young kid.
I shot with him today, and his target looked fantastic.
Really?
It was very good. Vegas Super X size. It was tight. Bodie Turner looking really solid. 3 solid X's.
Yeah, Bodie also shooting the smaller diameter arrow here for the shoot off.
There's nobody really behind. Everyone's they're keeping up pace with everyone. There's nobody, you know, only has 2 arrows off. Everyone has 4 arrows out of the bow for the most part.
What's Perkins' middle arrow
That
there?
one is low. Watts is good.
Kyle with a big, deep breath there. Here's Mikey Schlosser.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep, he gives that little head nod. When Mikey
Bodie,
gives that
good.
little head nod there, then you know he's grooving.
Louis Holmes has 1 on the line. Dane Johnson has 2 on the line.
Yeah, when Mikey starts getting that head shake, that yes, that was it, he's in that zone.
Curtis Broadnax might have just made it through with 27s. 5 inside outs.
Dang. Dane Johnson, did you say he had one probably out?
He's got 1 on the line.
Yeah, I remember Dane from years ago when he won an ASA.
He's won a couple now, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yep.
Strong 3D shooter.
Yep.
Broadnax, 25.
I think it's kind of interesting when we can't see it from the camera angle.
Douglas, 25.
Sitting here at the table, all the guys go down to see
Fullerton, 25.
Shake hands, pay respects.
Yeah.
You're going to see each other the next weekend, Be
Very
cordial
much.
about it.
Very much as a family brotherhood kind of
Holmes,
thing.
24.
Oh, Louis out.
Johnson, 22.
He missed 3.
Lutz, 25.
Jimmy's still in.
Perkins, 24.
So that's 3 out. So now we're down to 7.
Slosher, 25. And Turner, 25. Once again, give a round of applause to those that were eliminated.
So let's take a look and see what we have left. Did Matthias get bumped out? No, he's still in.
No, I believe he's in still.
Yep.
He had a close one.
So we lost Louis Holmes,
Perkins.
we lost Dane Johnson, and we lost Chris Perkins on that end. So we should have 7 left. So the 7 left: Kyle Douglas, Matthias Fullerton, Jimmy Lutz, Mike Slosser, Bodie Turner.
6 shooters left,
6.
and we'll use bales 5, 6, and 7.
Okay, they're going to relocate him to the center of the floor. So what they're doing now is they're relocating archers to the center of the floor to more or less make the camera angles a little more comfortable. Tighten everybody up. Have you been through this where they've shuffled you?
In Vegas, we got shuffled because I made it where we would do the one arrow, each
Yeah.
person shoot an arrow and go through. So we had to shuffle up, and that's just tighten everyone up, bring everyone in a group, so that way you're not on an island.
Yep.
Whether that's good or bad for you, it just puts everyone on an even playing field.
How did it affect you?
It didn't bother me much.
No?
No, when you're in the zone like that, you're hyper focused on trying to get that arrow to land right where you want it. I've actually really enjoyed this new venue.
I've been really impressed with it. There was a lot of negativity that surrounded this event, if we're honest, right?
Yeah, but you know what I thought was really cool, and I'm not gonna try to cut Bruce off here when he comes talking, but this is it's a tourist attraction.
Yep.
So there's people that don't shoot archery. I'll wait and I'll
This
finish
will be the
that.
same format, only the X counts as 5. It's scored inside out. You will continue to shoot all your arrows. We will not be going arrow by arrow. You will all shoot at one time. All right, archers to the line. Good luck.
Go ahead.
There was a lot of non-archers walking through, just tourists checking out the Navy Pier, or whether they're locals, asking archery questions. I've never seen bows like this. I don't know what this is. It was interesting because there was just a lot of interest.
I took an Uber every day to get here, and the Uber drops you off at the very front of the building.
Yep.
And this is held all the way out at the end of the building. So you walk through this huge shopping district inside the building with shops and restaurants and everything. I actually was pretty impressed. I went out to dinner last night, had a great time, didn't feel weird about being in downtown Chicago at all.
And if you walk to the end of the pier, you will see the last 6 we have shooting off. Everyone is looking inside out. Even our Mr. 27 shooter, Curtis Broadnax, down at the end.
Wouldn't it be cool?
It's almost in the same hole.
Yeah, it is. Look at that. That first arrow is right there. Second one looks great, too. Kyle Douglas, great arrow there. Oh, look at that flinch.
Chuck, I'm starting to think this could go for a while. They're shooting in middle. Kyle Douglas is on the line.
No. It's going to be super close.
It's close.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I don't see any white there, but that might be a judge call there. Fullerton, solid. Lutz, good.
Look at Curtis. He's got his third one down there. How's that look?
That's so 3 inside outs. Very clean and clear. Mikey's an arrow or 2 behind here. There we go. He fired that third arrow off. Inside out.
Curtis looking really determined there. Make a great shot.
Ooh, Curtis is tall. That's
wicked tall.
That's out of the X there. Bodie Turner is good. 5 inside outs.
I don't care what arrow you're shooting there. That's out. Big or small. Three guys left to shoot.
Yep. Jimmy Lutz is solid. 3 good arrows, or 5 good arrows. Mikey's behind. Fullerton, good. He's in. Mikey's got a whole nother arrow to shoot. That one was in as well.
Still plenty of time. 15 seconds on the clock. Dang, I hate that for Curtis because he absolutely drilled that last one.
Yes. Mikey is on an island here.
Nothing new for him.
Perfect.
Right
for him.
Right on the spider. Great shot from Mikey. We'll go down and take a look here. Looks like we're going to lose one more archer. We'll be down to 5.
I got a question. You registered for Reading?
I am.
All right. Me too. What target you starting
50.
on? All right. 45?
I've started on 50 for, gosh, 20-some years.
Everyone is looking at, it's a close look for Kyle's arrow there.
Run match 24.
Great weekend for Curtis. Very good showing.
Yeah, to make it this far.
I got a glance through the magnifier. 24.
Kyle's out as well.
I was able to look with the magnifier there.
Mm-hmm.
It was still in the space.
25.
So we're going to be down to 4.
Yeah.
Once 25. Slusher 25. And Turner 25. Once again, a round of applause.
I'll be the first one to say this. Guys we have left in it, we have Jimmy Lutz, Matthias Fullerton, Mikey, and Bodie.
Mm-hmm.
Matthias, former Vegas champion. Jimmy Lutz, world champion on the World Archery Circuit. Bodie, Mikey, we know what both those guys do.
Mm-hmm. And Matthias is defending champion here at this event.
This is about as good as we want it to be.
Yeah. If you had to handpick 4 people to go into the finals.
This could be a show, and it could go on for long. Are you ready for 20 ends of this?
Yeah. Which brings me to a really great question. Are you ready for this one? Here we go. The rumor mill, the talk has resurfaced again about having to shoot what you qualified with in the finals. In other words, if you shoot your qualifying score with 23s or 27s,
Okay, archers.
you wouldn't be able to switch to the skinnies for the finals. What are your
I
thoughts?
say let's do it. I really think so. Let's do it.
Good luck.
I think it would change the way people approach this event.
You know, remember when we were talking about Jesse? He's never won this tournament, but he has shot 60 inside outs here before in qualifying. He did that with 23s.
My first year as a pro, imagine this. You're a rookie pro. This is your first pro event, and you're on the bail with Jesse Broadwater and Dave Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesse Broadwater is shooting X10s.
Bodie's got one on the line. The other 3 guys are good. That would be... That'd make you shake a little bit. You feel
intimidating.
Nervous? Yeah.
And Jesse shot 59 that day.
Inside out?
Yep. And one completely missed.
Tough.
But his thought process was, I'm not changing it. I'm shooting the X10s the whole weekend.
You know, Jesse. Yes, there's Bodie's mom there.
You can see her trying to get a better look there.
Yeah, Bodie's got one. His first arrow was close.
Jimmy's got Jimmy's shaking his head there, and I saw Tate Morgan behind the fence, kind of giving him the waggle hand. I don't know if it's in or out. Jimmy, yeah, it's
close.
Can't tell from this angle for sure.
Fourth one is good.
Yeah. We might lose a couple here. Look at the look on Bodie's face. He knows.
Mm-hmm.
He knows. And now it's just an exercise. Now you just have to complete the task.
Yep.
Big shake from Maddie. What happened with Maddie's arrow there?
Maddie has one outside of the X-ring, his last arrow. So Maddie's got one out. Jimmy has one on the line.
And
if Mikey hits this, it might be his if those other arrows are called out. Bodie has one on the line as well. Here comes Mikey with his fifth and a letdown.
Lets down. He's got 130 seconds left on the clock, and honestly, he could win it right here.
The weight of the world is on him right now.
I wonder if he's aware.
He has to know.
Maybe the body English of the guys around him kind of tipped him off a little bit.
On the line. We might be going again.
Oh, no.
Going again with a 24.
Wow.
These arrow calls are going to be crucial, and it will go to all the judges with light and a magnifier for sure.
Holy cow. That one is definitely out. That's Bodie Turner's arrow there. That's definitely on the line. Let's take a look at Jimmy's arrow. Or Mikey's arrow right there. That low right arrow. Get in on that. Clearly cut the line. 24.
So he set the number. The score is 24 to beat.
So if everybody shoots 24, they all stay.
Oh wow. Jimmy might be a champion here.
Jimmy might be it.
Wow.
This is it. Jimmy is it. We showed the other two arrows is out. Jimmy's it.
No kidding. Congratulations, Jimmy. Confirm it with the judges. He has one close.
And
that is
Turner,
crazy.
24.
Congratulations, Jimmy.
Jimmy's the only 25.
So, the national champion. Give him a big round of applause, Jimmy
Lutz.
The former world champion right there. That is awesome.
Man, I'm so excited about that. I don't cheer very often behind the table, but damn, I'm happy for Jimmy.
Shooting for second, third, and fourth, and these guys will put targets up and we'll continue the same format.
I hope he keeps the arrows in that target for a good picture. He's been working hard in the new Yankton facility.
He's got a world-class facility in his back pocket, and clearly it's paying off. That new release, man.
Those skinny arrows are shooting pretty good for him indoors.
Yeah. Man, that's awesome for Jimmy. I'm so excited for him.
Big win. He's got himself an indoor bowl.
Those are so hard to come by.
Oh man.
Man, all the years I've been doing this, 30 years, I've not had my hands on a national ball. Let's hear this interview from Bruce.
All right, everybody, we've got a live feed of this going, and we've got to take a second here to congratulate the winner. Jimmy, you've been around for a long time, shot a lot of tournaments. What does this one mean to you?
I mean, from not being an indoor guy to missing like 4 straight years of shoot-offs and then finally making them, I mean, it feels good. My wife's here to support me. It's just great.
And what about the competition?
I mean, look at these other 3 guys. Vegas. I mean, I don't even know. Too many things to count.
So is this your year for Vegas?
Yes.
Oh, boy. Okay, we have the prediction. Congratulations, Jimmy. All right, thanks again. And we're going to continue on for second, third, and fourth place.
Wow, that's so great for Jimmy. I'm so excited for that guy right now. But look, the battle we've got left. Now that these guys have missed one, how tight do they get now?
You got 3 Vegas champions, which if you're winning Vegas, you can handle some nerves.
Yeah.
It's got to be a huge confidence booster for Jimmy switching to that release. That was a big change for him, and it paid off. Bodie, perfect. Inside out. Inside out. All 3 of them on the scribe.
And moments ago, the low that they had, thinking that was it. They're out. They're done.
this could go for a while because they might have had all the adrenaline roll out.
Mikey's got a good one. Fullerton's right on the leg.
Fullerton's inside out.
Bodie's right on the legs.
Matthias has been shooting so strong. You know, he shot the 990 X's at the JVD Open this year.
90 X's.
90 X's. It's what he's been able to accomplish is impressive. Bodie has one on the line.
It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Yeah, look at his face. He's like, well, I didn't think it should be there. You could tell as soon as that broke, his hand went kind of flung out there. He's like, oh, okay, I'll take that. It's in there.
Mikey's good. Look at the grip difference between Bodie and Matthias. Matthias really grabs a hold of that riser and turns it. Mikey with more of a traditional grip. Mikey's fifth one is solid.
Pretty exciting to see all three major manufacturers up here in the final.
I'll tell you what, there was a lot of Matthews shooters in the start. There was a couple Hoyts, a couple Elites, and one PSE shooter.
Mm-hmm. Who's still there.
Yeah, he's still in it.
The parity these days, you know, when I first started, if you weren't shooting a Martin, you didn't stand a chance. And then it was PSE and then Hoyt.
Chuck, what was that? 30 years ago?
35 years
Martin. Ago. I remember those days. The old George Riles, Ragsdale with the PSE.
25. And Turner, 25. We'll do it again.
25s apiece.
Who was the big Martin shooters back in the days there? Because there was quite a few of them.
Oh, you had the Ragsdales back then. Oh my gosh! Now you know my brain's going to go into vapor lock because you're asking me names now.
Yeah.
But there was bunches of, and then the Ragsdales went over to PSE and had an incredible career there.
Mm-hmm. Now we do have the big three here.
Then you had, of course, George Riles was there.
Only the next counts is 5, score inside out, arches to the line, good luck.
I'm sure everyone just got a glance of the amount of weight on Mikey's front bar. It was, it's a lot in comparison to the other two guys. Look at it. Probably
That's
30 ounces.
All of that.
Bodie, I think, is somewhere around 4 to 5. Matthias is at 18, 19, and then Mikey has a small train car on the front of that thing.
But he's always shot like combined weight around 60, 65 ounces.
It's incredible. My front shoulder would give out.
I would have none left. I come from the Jesse Broadwater school. I'll throw about 4 or 5 ounces out there and I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Bodie got a really tall one there.
Bodie's got one. Blew it right out of the top of the X. Missed the X altogether. Bodie's going to be done.
Inside out there. Mikey's looking good. Matthias looks okay. Looking at his target. Yep, Matthias is good. If Mikey gets this one, Mikey's good. Bodie's the last one here to shoot.
And he's got one out.
Yeah, one out. Good
Kind of
finish.
a big bobble there, but a good finish. But he's definitely shaking his head. He knows he missed that one big.
You know, in 2 weeks to Vegas, we could see these three shooting off again.
I would absolutely bet a paycheck on it.
I'll let Zeiss know.
Fullerton, 25.
So that puts Bodie 4.
Slusher, 25.
Yeah, that'd put Bodie 4.
And fourth place, Bodie Turner with a 24.
Great showing for Bodie this weekend. It hurts to come up a little short like that, but shot great.
Just not a lot of room to make a mistake at this level.
There's no room. If general rule of thumb, if you don't miss, nobody can beat you. So
that does hold true.
Yeah,
that checks out. But now we're down to 2. I've got to look back and see, did Mikey win this years ago?
I don't know if he has an indoor bowl.
Okay, same format. Only the X counts as 5, scored inside out, arches to the line.
And there's
Good luck.
Bodie taking the long, lonely walk off to the side. Tough weekend for him.
He's looking forward to coming back to Chicago next year.
Mm-hmm.
Both these guys are shooting the same release from True Ball, the Abyss.
Center. This could go for a minute.
We are having a shoot-off for second place, and they are both Euros. Denmark and the Netherlands. Some very strong shooters.
Still good,
here.
good. Both of them solid. Both in a good rhythm.
I know Mikey's going to the ASA next weekend, and then Vegas after that. I don't know what Matthias is doing. If he's going to be shooting the ASA or go back home before Vegas.
Matthias is a little low, but it's
good.
Solidly in. That mustache, that classic mustache.
Mikey has 4 of them basically on the scribe there. Here comes his 5th arrow. To the veins in the middle.
Yeah, I thought I heard that one pop through on the last end. It sounded like it was starting to pop through the bag.
Matty needs this one. Middle. Tied it up.
Yep.
Going again.
Nothing super close. Matty's 4th arrow there, just a little low, but not tragically. Yeah, plenty of room.
Plenty of room.
Fullerton,
See, with a 27,
25.
with a 27 that close from the center of the shaft, that one
And
would be touching.
Slusher, 25.
And that's the advantage to switch into those skinny arrows, which is why we have that conversation again about having to shoot what you qualify with.
Mm-hmm.
What would it do for you? Would you make the shift? Would you shoot 23s or maybe 166s or something like that?
You know, if I came here with just 27s and 23s.
Okay.
So I would have probably shot my 23s. If I was to shoot skinnies, it would have to be a special build just for 20 yards. I wouldn't be shooting my outdoor arrows.
Right, not
20
your
yards.
field
Once
arrow.
again, same
Yeah,
format. X counts as 5, scored inside out, arches to the line. Good luck.
But given the rule change, if you knew in advance, you could spend some time, build something out.
If it was a 1 arrow, I'd probably shoot 23s or maybe a standard size hunting shaft, like a 5 or a 6mm.
Yep. Something not too skinny, but
Still got some
Skinny.
size to it. Yeah.
skinny enough to give you a shoot-off advantage.
Mikey's shot is looking really clean. That one was middle from both of them.
I think the last time we saw that was a few years ago, using Marlowe shot hunting shafts.
Yep, with screw-in points. I remember that. Mikey has one very close on the line on his center target. Very close. I'm going to say that one's on the line.
I remember he ran out to his car to get those arrows. They still had blood on them because they were his actual hunting shafts.
Oh, Jacob.
Unscrewed the broadhead, screwed in field points, and went to the shoot-off.
I would just be shooting my 27s at that point.
So Mikey's got one super, super close.
Yep, he's got one super close.
You think it's on the line?
I do. Matthias has 4 inside outs.
So we could close it out right here.
We could close it out. If he puts this one in the middle, it's over. I've been wrong. That one's good.
I was wrong earlier with the seniors.
And Mikey is good on his last one.
Yep. So it's all going to come down to that middle arrow right there.
What we're looking for is a little bit of white to be able to say that it's inside out. If we
I don't know.
see
You
white,
know, that angle. Well, there's the cameraman racing up there. He's going to get a shot of that arrow right now. That's in. That's in. There's white there.
I do see white. You're right.
Of course, I'm not a judge.
Yeah, they could.
Fullerton, 25.
There was some white there. He's going to look at it. He's going to break out the light. Could be folded, maybe, the line, or on the paper.
Slosher, 25.
Yep.
Yeah,
Called it in.
I was wrong.
Oh, Bruce having a conversation with the archers there.
I think.
Hey, do you guys
There
want
was some question to it.
You guys want to split it and call it, and let's just go home? Bruce is probably asking them if they want to go alternate arrows.
Or fresh paper, maybe.
Bruce does like to go to that alternate arrow shooting, 1 for 1. So
Get the heart rate up.
So there's a conversation there with Bruce Cull and the archers trying to sort it out.
They want to split. Is that
They
what you
want to
said?
just split it, yeah.
Same thing.
And
X counts.
he quickly shut
X
that down.
counts as 5, scored inside out. Good luck.
That would be quite the podium picture.
Be a little interesting.
You have Mikey's front foot on the line and Matthias's rear foot close to the back edge of the line. Different stance styles there. That's interesting. I've never noticed that.
That's the George Riles straddle is what Matty has going on.
That's the way I do it.
Where the rear foot is way over or way up tight.
So I've shot off against Mikey before, and I would say one of his tricks is shooting very fast. But I'll tell you, Matthias has beaten him, right? Because as soon as you get your 5 arrows off and put them in a situation where they're the last to shoot,
yep,
tension gets built. So he's going to try to shoot these as fast as possible to put Mikey in a position where he's on an island.
Yeah, and he got like that. Oh, that's in.
Yep, in.
Yeah, he got that third one off, and he was instant to his 4th arrow.
But shooting fast can hurt you sometimes if you get too carried away.
I would say the younger you are, the easier it is.
Yes, it is. That one's good for Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey looked really comfortable with that.
And here's Matthias, middle, putting Mikey on an island. Walks off the line, puts him up there by himself. Let's see what he's got here. It's good.
Yep. A little on the edgy side.
We go again.
I don't know. Mikey seems like he's had a couple.
Plenty of room.
Plenty of room.
If it was a 23, it would be touching for sure.
So they're starting to open up just a little. He's got a couple of them kind of out there. Not super close, but kind of out there.
25. Slosher, 25.
I would say Maddie's target is looking a little tidier. No?
Yes, it's looking cleaner for sure. So I got a question for you. While we're waiting here as they're going back to shoot, have you seen the new Vegas venue?
I have not yet been out there. I've seen a couple of videos that Steve Anderson put up, and I was pretty impressed with that.
I was there with Steve, and I'm excited for that new venue.
Yeah?
Yeah, different halls, different setup.
All right, same thing. X counts as 5. Inside out. Good luck.
I've heard the shoot-off venue is going to be amazing.
That is what I'm most excited for.
What is it,
I can't tell you.
30,000 seat? 3,000?
4,000 seats.
4,000 seats.
There's lots of room for growth there.
Big stadium-style venue.
Yes. All right. So Mikey is very middle. Matias is also good. See, Mikey's going to try to beat him now. He's going to shoot fast and quick there. On and gone. That one is good.
And quickly to his third.
It's kind of a race. See, if you're mentally strong, this tactic doesn't mess with you. But it is something to take note of, because if they're a slower shooter and you can leave that individual up there for 2 arrows to shoot, it's kind of in your favor a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
See, now they're both going to be going
They're
for their
both
fourth.
on pace. Yeah. Now they've tied each other. Mikey gave that head nod again there.
That arrow went all the way to the vein, so... Oh, Mikey has one on the line.
Yep. I saw him look over here, and that instantly told me he had one close.
Matias needs to hit this last one, and he's golden.
So it comes down to this arrow. Your last year's champion could be this year's second place finisher.
Great showing. Middle.
Middle. Yep. That's probably going to wrap it up right there.
Yep.
Maddie will wind up being your second place finisher. Last year's champion, second place this year. Mikey Sloshaw will wind up taking third. Yeah, clearly split that line right in half.
Matias with the home team for me. That we had one shooter in the shoot-off, and he made it happen.
And he made it happen.
25 for Matias.
And third place, Mike Slosher. Second place, Matthias Fullerton. Congratulations, guys.
Great showing.
All right, everybody, thank you for watching this. We're going to go right into the award ceremony. Everybody sit tight for 5 minutes. We'll have the risers set up, and we'll start presenting the awards.
Well, that was a great shoot-off that we had. It did not go the 20-30 ends that we thought it might go. So what excitement we had. It knocked out. There was ends where tons of archers got knocked out. Mm-hmm. And came down to a battle of the greats there. What do you think? Final thoughts?
It was definitely, those last 4 guys were some of the best we have in the world right now.
It makes me look forward to Vegas. I cannot wait to see what we're going to have going on there, especially, like you say, with the new venue and everything that's going on. It's going to be super exciting. I want to make sure I thank everybody for joining us today for the NFAA National Field Archery Indoor National Championships 2025 here from Chicago, Illinois on the pier, the Navy Pier. Thanks again for joining me today, Gaius. I really appreciate it. You did a great job, and I hope I get to sit with you again. Because you're good in the booth, it's great to have you here, but I also hope you're out on that line and you're shooting off for the big money.
This might sound bad, but I hope I'm not back, because I'd like to be in the shoot-off.
Congratulations, man. Thanks again for having us. Thanks to Competition Archery Media. We will see you guys out on the tour.